Jason in Miami, FLA. See more better here with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And today I'm going to take the Persol frame that you have mailed me. It is the Persol 3164, color 938 in the 56 eye size. You've been wearing these polarized lenses down in Miami. Now you want to put clear prescription lenses in it with anti-glare. So let's begin. I'm going to come down here to my little heater, turn this on, and I'm going to take out your original glass lenses, and they're in there pretty snug, so I'm going to use some heat to soften up the plastic right here, the part of the frame at the nasal area, so it makes your lenses easier to come out. In theory, let's see how these come out. In theory, Persol puts their lenses in very snugly. Is that a right word, snugly? Snugger than most. So let's see. Oh yeah, piece of cake. Piece of cake. Got that out. Let me just use the frame, bring it back to its original shape. We're good to go. So anytime, this is known in my business as a POF. The letters POF stands for Patient's Own Frame. And anytime someone brings me a POF, the first thing I do is clean out the inside bevel, because sweat, debris, other things can build up in there, and the stylus is going to trace the shape of the frame. So I want to clear any debris out of a frame that has been worn already. New frames, you don't have to worry about it, but the stylus is very sensitive and I want it to trace the accurate shape. Let's get rid of that, throw that in the trash. I can save that for later. But I'm going to put the frame into the tracing out of my edger and hit start, and this is why I clean it. Because this little stylus that pops up is going to go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any genuine, authentic frame from me and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Now, since I don't sell this frame, you do pay the $49.99 for your prescription lenses, and that is it. Well, you pay for the upgrade to anti-glare. So, let's see, your pupillary distance is 31 for your right eye. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap this button until I get down to 31. I do want to raise the OC height up, the vertical decentration, just a little bit. And let's see here, that is good. Let me go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads -2, -2.25 at 81. Is this on? Hello, hello, is this on? Yes, it is on. Let me make sure everything is zeroed out perfectly. We are good to go. I'm going to put the power drum on -2, the axis wheel on 81. 81. And -2, -2.25, -2, -2.25 at 81. We are good there. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. -2, I'm going to put the lens in. Find the spherical component of your lens first. Check your astigmatism correction. Make sure that's all in the middle of the crosshairs. That's looking good. I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. Did I get? Hang on, let me put some more ink in here. Let me get some more ink. Alright, they never make you proud when you want. There we go, there we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. Now we're cooking with solar ovens. Now we're cooking with easy bake ovens. I love those ones. My sister used to have one of those. Cooked with a light bulb. The best little chocolate brownie that you ever waited 45 minutes to eat. Especially because it was free. Okay, where am I? Where's the pen? Here it is. This is the right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens, which reads -2.25, -1.25 at 90. Let's spin the axis wheel to 90. Put the power up. It shifted on me. Put the power drum on -2.25. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve, put it in, rotate it until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check the astigmatism correction, the second curvature, which I'll explain later. Again, put the 3 dots on the lenses. Oh yeah, now that worked. And label this one L, which is Latin for not right. And if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. I'm telling you, I don't care what y'all think. I'm going to laugh at that joke even if y'all won't. So, oops, let me grab some new ones here. This is a block, or as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need to use, this is what's going to hold it in place in the edger. So I need to use a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I'm using my last two. Don't worry about those. They mean nothing to me. I'm going to use my last two stickers and put them on here. The black side is the sticky side. Stick that on the first one. Do that on the second one. Now on the back is a silver button. That's going to do its job twice today. The first time is right now. Right here, right now. It's going to attach itself to something magnetical there in the arm. Place that there. Now once your lens, don't want to get those confused. The reason why I put those 3 dots in there, it tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly, especially with your astigmatism. It cannot rotate at all. Check one thing, make sure the lens is large enough for the frame, and it is. And I'm going to touch that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the unright lens. Throw the paper away, line up the magnet. Now your pupillary distance for your left eye is 32. So I'm going to tap this plus button twice. It goes up in 0.5 millimeter increments until we get to 32. We got the same OC height of 24. Let me mark that. Always good to keep track of the vertical decentration. And line everything up. That dot goes in the center. That blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. If you were to measure vertically and horizontally, dead center is dead center. Your eye is just above that in inset. So that's why I'm decentering your lenses so it sits perfectly in front of your eyes. 32, okay, we're good. Hit that button, the arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs about $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy your own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy anymore with the bad jokes to do it for you. The actual cutting wheel is over here. On the left is going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away the lens material. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So press that on there. Now the magnet can do its job a second time. It can attach itself to something magnetical there in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up the computer. That is the shape we'll be cutting. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they are plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay on polycarb because that's what I use primarily, and I'll explain why later. I'm not going to polish the edge of your lens because it's not going to be seen anyway. I'm just going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of your lens. Hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And the old carpenter saying measure twice, cut once. Measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel. If needed be, on stronger prescriptions, I can move the bevel forwards or backwards to give you the best cosmetic look possible. But with your prescription in this frame, it's really not going to be an issue. But because I do cut free prescription lenses all day long for anyone who buys a frame, that does become more critical in certain prescriptions and certain frames. Now if you see light in the background, that is water there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off of the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex cut wet. Water will spray onto the edge of the lens for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away any optical debris that you may begin to see form. There's some. Now, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is a high impact lens. This is what all soldiers wear overseas in their protective eyewear. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin there in Miami. But your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so you have permanent sunscreen, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there at Miami Beach. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. The other nice thing about your lens, it is aspheric. Sorry about that. Aspherical, it simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction. Let me give you an example of that. A spherical lens is round, gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance, which you do not want. So not only are they thinner and lighter, but it has a flatter curvature to fit into today's flatter curvature frames. So the other nice thing is you have anti-glare coating. You upgraded to that, which is $44.99. With your astigmatism, you are very sensitive to oncoming lights at night, so it reduces the glare of oncoming lights as well as street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights, and the such. The other nice thing is a reflection-free lens. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your lenses. It makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if you take a selfie or if someone else takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in your lens. You'll see just your eyes. Now, the third feature that I like, which is the practical side, is it comes with the industry's hardest scratch coating, because the machine that applies the anti-glare coating, it costs over $1 million and takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and expense. So water has begun spraying onto the lens, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. Now in just a moment, a little lever is going to come out of the foreground. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel, something you would find at the end of a Dremel tool. That is going to smooth out, it's known as the safety bevel. It's going to smooth out the back surface of the lens. Should any portion of this lens protrude from the back surface of the frame and come into contact with your cheek, it will be nice and smooth. Now I'm going to go ahead and open this door with my mind. I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. I just got to keep staring at it. Ooh, look at that. So this is known as Schwarf optical sawdust. I love it when it comes off in one piece. So I use my thumbnail. I'm going to go ahead and remove it since the water did not. Remove all of it. I love it when it comes off in one piece, just like lint out of the dryer trap. The lint trap in the dryer. Dry everything off here. In my old days, I would collect it neatly into one pile and then wipe it on the floor. But my wife has asked that since I have my new lab, go ahead and throw everything away in the trash. Keep everything nice and clean for her. Okay, honey, I'll do what you asked me to do. And first things first, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, and we're going to see if the lens fits. I'm going to use my thumbs to press down. And I want to take it down a little bit more. I'm going to do 1/10 of a millimeter. Hit retouch. Now I don't want to force the frame into the lens. If forcing it would cause the frame to stretch, or what we in the business called roll. If you can imagine the bevel of the frame being like a gutter. If the lens were too large, it would force the bottom of the frame to roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of the frame. So I'm going to take about 1/10 of a millimeter off. A millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/10 of that off, going around the circumference of the lens until it snaps in there rather easily. I am a perfectionist. I cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide from this lab. So you want someone like me cutting your lenses. Now, the same way I used heat to remove your lenses, most labs, in fact, most optical shops don't even cut their own lenses. That's why they tell you to come back in 10 days to 2 weeks, because they're having someone else like me do it for them. Really, they're having the large labs to do about 1,000 pair of glasses a day. But they take that lens, as soon as they come out, they heat up the frame with hot air or glass beads, making the plastic soft and pliable, and they force the lens into the frame. Now, when you're doing 1,000 pair a day, you almost have to do that, because everyone has a boss and they're told get stuff out as fast as possible. Don't get backlogged. You can't make money off of glasses you don't cut at these big major labs. So they're under a tremendous amount of pressure to get stuff done as fast as possible. Quality is not important. Fast is the name of the game. Go ahead and throw that Schwarf away. Yes, honey, you're welcome. So let's see if it fits this time around. Tuck it in at the outside corner, and then using my thumbs press down the nose, and now it snaps in there easily, not using any heat. Your frame was not stretched in the process. Plus, when the frame is too large, it makes your temples splay outward or inward, and again, bad look on the frame. So let's go ahead and flip that over to L, which again is Latin or German or Aramaic for not right. Put the lens using that magnet. It's going into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby. Hit start. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, just like before, making sure that the left lens is now large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the frame, you can see the thickness of the lens in proportion to every spot on the frame. But again, measuring the thickness to know where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, and look at that. No edge thickness whatsoever. Even with your prescription, your high amount of astigmatism, nothing is shown in this frame. In a larger eye size too. That's why I use the polycarbonate. Let's go ahead and take this block off, dry that off, continue with my artwork. I save all of these. Let's press it on there now. Looks like one of the little ghosts in Pac-Man, doesn't it? And let's come down here to my lensometer while the left lens is cutting. Oh, I lost my dot on the lens. I can put a new one on there. Let's spin the axis wheel back to 81. Put the lens in. Find the center of the lens. Check your astigmatism correction. All of that. And I'm getting, where's my flashlight? I am getting -2. Now the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R, starting at 0 and going up in quarter increments from there. So you're on the 8th rung of a ladder. You are nearsighted without your glasses on. Everything you look at is way too large. So your lens is minified down to the correct size. That's why there's a minus sign in front of your lens. It will minify to the correct size. Now once it's the correct size, you have an additional 9 steps of astigmatism correction. So you have one curve on your eye this way, which is the spherical component. You have an astigmatic curve that's slightly steeper. If I were to hold my hands, this one curve is steeper than the front curve. And that's how you line up those 2 curves to make everything nice and crisp. There is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's a different shape than, it's not completely round. So that's what makes 6s and 8s look alike, of the letters P and F. And it's the fine tune knob. We're going to turn that knob to 81, which we're already at, but let's check your astigmatism correction. And we end up at 4 1/4. And how do we get there? That's because we add 2 like signs together. Or using today's terms, if someone borrowed $2 from you and then they borrowed another $2.25, they would owe you 4 1/4. 4 1/4 in the red. Now, your left eye needs 9 steps of correction. You're on the 9th rung of a ladder, but you only need 5 steps of astigmatism correction. So we're going to end up at a total power of 350. 4 1/4 here. If all goes right, we'll end up at 350 here. Now these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. It just tells us where to place the second curvature on the lens. So again, you sent me your frame, so there was a fee of $49.99 for your aspheric polycarbonate lenses. And then the anti-glare coating costs $44.99 for a total of $94.98. And of course, free shipping. Return shipping back to you on your... Oh, I got to put a dot on there. Mine came off. There we go. Keep that dot on there. I'm going to need that later. So your lens just a second ago was completely flat, just like a nickel. I could have taken it out. So now it's on the bevel wheel, getting the V-shaped bevel. It is a cold, it was 19 degrees when I woke up this morning. It's going to warm up to about 31 or 32. I can only imagine what it's like there in Miami, FLA, down in South Beach. You guys have the best life. I know it gets extremely hot there in the summertime. Guess what? Here's a secret for you. It gets real hot in North Carolina in the summertime too, with the high humidity just like you have. But you guys get a breeze coming off the ocean. We ain't got no breeze. Although we got some good basketball here on Tobacco Road. with Duke, North Carolina, which is not having the best of years, and NC State, which is making a wonderful contribution to the ACC this year. Their team's really turning around. And so, just a moment, I want you to open the door with your mind. There you go, Jason. Good job. Good job. Let me go ahead and release that out of the chuck. Dry everything off. Make sure there's no schwarf left on the lens. Clean that up. Throw that away in the trash. Dry that off again. Now let's see if your left lens fits. Tucking it in at the outside corner first. Pressing down the nose. That snaps in easily. We're good to go there. Let's go ahead and take the block off. Take the sticker off. Apply that to my artwork as it grows and grows. And my ink ran. Inky. That's alright, I'll put another dot there. Let's come down here. Let's turn the fine tune knob to 90. Of course, I don't have to do that. I do have to do that, yep. We're going to find the center of the lens. And I'm getting -2 1/4, 1 tick mark away from 2. We're going to check your astigmatism correction. We're at 2 1/4. We're going to turn the power drum another 5 steps to 1 1/4 till we end up at 350. Look at that, exactly halfway between 3 and 4. So that is made perfectly. Let me put a dot on the lens again. Your pupillary distance for your right eye is 31. It is 32 for the left. Go ahead and clean up a little bit here. For a combined value of 63, I'm going to turn the card around. If I can get the PD stick out of my, where's my PD stick? There it is. That's why I couldn't find it in my pocket. Place it against the 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and then we hold it up to the left lens. We're getting 63, so that is made perfectly. Now this is the portion in every video that as you see me clean your lenses, I would normally go ahead and put your lenses in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance, if they were brand new. However, these are your frames and they may fit you perfectly, so I do not want to adjust them because I may get them out of what's perfect on you now. Of course, not only do I include a selfie request in your package to have your picture on the website, but I would also include instructions not only how to care for your frame and lenses, but for your cleaning cloth as well. So those two and your eyeglass case, which you did not send me. These were wrapped up in what is that, bubble wrap, when you sent these to me in the package. But you have a case at home. If not, I'll contact you before I ship and I can provide one for you at no charge. Now, when you get this and you see the wrinkles on the cloth, you know that it works. I field test every cleaning cloth before I ship to make sure that it works. But I'm just go ahead and double check it. Standard alignment is a 3-point stance, also known as 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I put them down. Hey, how about that? They are in standard alignment. If not, for anyone else watching this, if your glasses fit a little loose or a little tight, or more than likely there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that sits higher than the other. And I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But just stop by your local eyeglass shop. 99% of all optical shops do free adjustments. So just tell them what needs to be done. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses properly. But as I mentioned, there is no wobble. When I take mine off and set them down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Versace 3199 color 5118, which is the blue and tortoise. I like to be matching. Today I'm wearing the blue, and they're not tortoise pants, but they're brown, but that way I'm always matching. Blue top, brown pants. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. And these are available on my website should you want to wear the same glasses as I do. Flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I will check to make sure each temple overlaps perfectly and neither one is askew. It doesn't matter if you have one ear higher than the other. There's no reason your glasses should be askew. But check the tension on the spring hinges. That's the same. If one side was looser than the other side, I would adjust for that. But that's it. If anyone has any questions, you can email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the contact me button on the website. Or better yet, I'm having everyone leave their questions and comments in the comment section down below the prescription, because that way someone else can read your question or comment and benefit and gain from what you're asking. They may not have thought of that themselves, but they can learn from your inquisitive nature. So Jason in Miami, FLA. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses with anti-glare for your Persol 3164, color 938 in the 56 eye size. And everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.